All right, hi Katie, I'm Jenna.
Hi Jenna, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. So I just want to let you know a few things before we get started. This is a confidential place, so I do want you to feel very comfortable here. If there's anything that you're uncomfortable with, just let me know. Things like that. It's confidential. There are some exceptions to that. If you mention any direct harm like to yourself or you're thinking about harming someone else as well, I do have to report that. Or if you mention anything about child abuse or neglect, or the same goes for the elderly, just things like that. It's important, that we take care of those things. And I also need to let you know that I'm an MSW student. I'm not licensed or anything, so I'll probably be taking some notes. Just want to let you know everything that's going to be going on, and just want you to feel comfortable. And yeah, so
Yeah, that all sounds good.
sounds good. Do you have any questions or anything?
Nope, that all sounds pretty good.
Okay, cool. So just stop me along the way if there's anything you have a question about or like feel uncomfortable. Don't hesitate. Relax. That's kind of the feeling I want to have. Just relaxed, easy conversation.
Okay.
So what kind of brings you in here today? Is there anything heavy on your mind?
Yeah, so I guess I'm in graduate school and I've been feeling just pretty anxious. I work as well. I work 20 hours and then I have 2 dogs at home, and so trying to juggle school and work and dogs and everything I feel like is just really stressful, and it's giving me a lot of anxiety, and it's been hard for me to focus on my schoolwork because I've been feeling so anxious.
Okay. So just really sounds like you have a lot going on, and it's just almost seeming like too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of does. I feel like it's just there's so much work in my program, and my dogs, I have to be mindful of them and making sure that I'm taking care of them, and then I don't want to seem like a recluse and just
Yeah.
lock myself in my room and do schoolwork all the time, and then too trying to manage that with my work schedule. I work 20 hours a week, and I feel like trying to manage everything is just really, it's pretty stressful.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's taking a toll too on, my personal relationships. Like my relationship with my best friend, I feel like she's frustrated with me because I don't have as much time to spend with her as maybe I did when I wasn't in school and working and trying to manage everything as well. And so trying to do all that is just, it's proving to be a lot.
Right. Okay. So you said you were feeling some anxiousness and things. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, I think, so sometimes when I sit down and try to do all my schoolwork and everything, I start getting really stressed out, and I can almost start shaking a little bit.
Okay.
And trying to sit down and plan everything out, and I just feel like there's just not enough time in the day to do all of the things that need to get done. And I feel like, unfortunately, the thing that's really taking a toll is my schoolwork. I really feel like I just am so focused on everything else that my schoolwork is kind of taking the back seat. And it's, even talking about it, I get stressed out. I feel just anxious, and I know it makes me moody too. I know it makes me kind of irritable, and other people have noticed it as well and suggested that I come and talk to someone about it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I thought it would be a good idea just to talk to someone about what's been going on.
Yeah. So other than your anxious feelings, and I see where you're coming from with school stressing you out. Do you feel like school should be your primary focus?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think it's just, I think part of it too is that the work is really hard.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, I think part of me feels like maybe, I don't know, that I can't do the schoolwork. And so part of it is that, like, well, should I even be in this program?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing? It's just stressful.
Okay. So with your schoolwork wanting to be your primary focus, do you think that there's anything that you could cut out of your, the other things you've got going on?
Yeah, I think sometimes I think about cutting down on my work hours just because I do work 20 hours a week. But then it's stressful thinking about how to pay for all of the other things in my life, like rent and taking care of my dogs and car payments and all that good stuff. But then on the other hand, I have student loans that I have coming in too. So it's hard to balance, well, do I actually need the money, or is it more of a luxury just to have that extra cushion that I don't necessarily need but is nice to have?
Right. So, can you tell me a little bit about any outside support that you have?
Yeah, so my mom is pretty good at helping to calm me down, and she's suggested that I maybe take some time off of work and see if that helps. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to take that step yet.
Okay. What are your concerns about taking time off work other than money, or is that your only main concern?
I think it really is the money for the most part.
Yeah.
And it's hard because I know taking time off work would allow more time for my schoolwork, and I know that would really help out with maybe bringing my grades back up. It would also give me more time to spend with other people. I feel like my social support system has kind of been put on the back burner because I've been so busy with everything else.
And I agree. I do think that your social relationships are important. You need that support. You can't, it's hard to do things, all on your own.
Yeah.
So I totally understand where you're coming from with that. Wanting that outside support is very important. Do you feel like at work you get any sort of support like that from your friend? Or do you have friends at work?
I mean, my people at work are more like acquaintances.
Okay.
I mean, it really, it's a pretty big company that I work for, and like I said, it's only 20 hours a week, so I'm not really close with the other people that I work with. And then, I don't know, I mean, they're all undergraduate students, and so they're younger and have more time and different issues than I have, you know what I mean? So I don't really feel like we mesh.
Yeah, it's hard to, find connections and have them understand what you're feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
I understand that.
I feel like they don't really get it, and they won't understand really the intricacies of being a real adult, and going to graduate school as opposed to just undergrad, which I feel like is, it's kind of like an unspoken rule that, well, yeah, you're going to go to college, but graduate school is a different decision.
It's an option.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm hearing you say, you're super busy with your school, which I totally get, and you're searching for those outside connections with other people. And you don't find that at your work, those aren't your people,
Yeah.
And do you feel like your the friends that you do have, your support group, I don't want to say group, but you know what I mean, that they're making an effort towards you as well?
Yeah, I feel like they are. I have some people in my program that I feel like I'm starting to get kind of close with, and I know they definitely can relate to the amount of work that's in the program. But I just think that it's hard to spend time with them because I have all these other things going on, but I can also see how it would be nice and helpful if maybe I did take some time out to spend with them and just have time to vent and talk about the issues that we're having and stuff like that.
Yeah. And with your, your family and your other friends that aren't in the program, do you feel like they understand what you're going through?
Yeah, I think they do understand. I think it's just hard for them to really get it because they're not in the same situation. You know what I mean? And my mom, she didn't go to graduate school, so I know she understands that I have a lot going on, but doesn't really understand what it is. You know what I mean? And doesn't understand how seriously hard it can be to juggle all of that with work and trying to manage friends too, and like my responsibilities and stuff.
Can you just tell me a little bit more about your other responsibilities?
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like I need to spend a certain amount of time at home because I have my dogs at home, and then I don't know, I guess I just like around the house responsibilities, and then to like, I don't know, I guess my dogs are pretty much the big ones.
Is there are your dogs part of your work at all, or are those separate?
No, those are separate.
Those are separate, so they're just, you're at home kind of.
Yep, just my puppies.
Nice, that's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
So with what all you've got going on, have you put any thought towards, maybe making a schedule, or do you already have a schedule like that, or you kind of just plan everything by
I
ear?
kind of have a schedule. It's hard though because some weeks are busier than others.
Okay.
Like some weeks I have more assignments due than in different weeks. But my work schedule is pretty constant, and then of course the dog's schedules, those are pretty constant as well.
Okay.
But maybe making a schedule would be helpful. Sit down and kind of figure out how much time I actually have and how much time I need to devote to, each school activity and stuff like that.
Because I think, making a schedule like that may be helpful in making sure that you do set aside that time to spend with your friends, people in your program. It may just be a good visual to help you be like, okay, I've spent 20 hours on homework. I can go spend an hour or two with friends.
Yeah, I think it's hard too. I do get anxious when I think about how many things I have to do, and I don't know where to start. There's just so much that I've committed to and so many things that I have to get done that I don't know where to even begin.
Do you ever make any sort of like to-do list or things like that?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes that helps.
Yeah, because I know there's proof somewhere. I don't have explicit knowledge on it, but making a to-do list and checking things off can kind of help relieve some of the anxiousness that people feel when they have like this long list. But once you start checking things off, it makes things seem, a bit more doable.
Yeah, almost makes it feel like, okay, this is possible. It's not just this big, long, looming list of things that you have to get done in a certain amount of time.
Can take on all these tasks. Like, it's not impossible.
Yeah.
And then, so I think that would be something, to look into. I can definitely help you write up a list of things that you have to do or make a schedule with you. Going back to your work, we talked about that a little bit. Would you be interested in maybe making a pros and cons list as to cutting back on your hours? Because I know you had mentioned that.
Yeah, I guess that would be kind of helpful. Maybe try to figure out which one is, whether or not it really is better to cut down or keep with my schedule.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know that we'll have too much time to do that today, but that's something, I can make a note of, and we can definitely talk about that next time. Is there anything else that you just feel like you need to get out today before we wrap up?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, so just gonna recap on everything. Feeling just overwhelmed and everything. Do you have right now any sort of outlet for that? Is there anything that you go and do?
Spending time with my dogs helps. It kind of eases my stress.
Okay, so that's something to keep in mind for this week. But before we get any kind of schedule done, just remember to take that time for yourself. Try not to get too anxious. I understand that is very hard. When you've got all these things, like you said, looming over you. I totally understand that. But I feel like we got a lot done today. Good basis. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, awesome. So, I guess we're good. We can wrap up for today.
Thank you.